Yo, I'm tryna get my sterling up in the city, so s'il play. As soon as my child can walk, it's straight Project Mbappe. But all the verbal, as soon as I hear that whistle, we get straight to the action. Come on lads, where's the passion? Do like Alamat C, we wear headbands for the fashion. If the defenders drop back, we counter and then attack them. I got my eye on the ball, I got my eye on the ball, yeah. I got my eye on the ball, I got my eye on the ball, yeah. I got my eye on the ball, I got my eye on the ball.
Yes. We're back once again with 2 man up. Daniel's away on business, so we got me and the big back up and eyes on the court. To the show, man. It's gonna be a good one, man. But before we get stuck in, how you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. Like I'm good. It's I feel like we ain't been together for a while, and it's been a while since we talked basketball.
It's been a second.
Yeah.
We had to let free agency play out, innit?
That was nuts. It's proper nuts. Yeah.
It said I remember I saw it on the jump. $2.8 billion in contracts was handed out in the past week.
I feel like next year is gonna be like even. There's a bunch of free agents next year, so I feel like next year I think like James Harden and Kyrie and a couple of other guys are free agents next year. So yeah, I mean, look, to see the guys getting paid, Chris Paul getting paid, these guys like Trae Young, Steph, KD got paid,
Jimmy Butler just signed an extension,
Kyle Lowry, DeRozan. So I'm not gonna lie to you, I like seeing these guys get paid. I'm not gonna lie, like they're worth more than they're getting paid anyway. So yeah,
no, for sure,
it's fun. It's good to see.
Yeah, for sure. It's the big bucks still. He's gonna get him paid big bread. But yeah, let's get stuck in, man. You mentioned a lot of the names, a lot of big names, man. A lot of guys on the move, a lot of guys re-upping with their teams.
Yeah.
Steph, first guy to sign $200 million contracts. Big ups to him. But definitely deserved. But you know what? On that. Actually, no. Let's do. Actually, why not? Your thoughts on the Warriors off season? Because we start. I mentioned Steph signed obviously his extension.
Yeah.
We got Clay coming back off his injury. He had obviously out for 2 seasons. He's coming back. They brought back Iguodala.
Otto Porter Jr.
Bielitsa. Bielitsa.
Who else? Where's someone else? I can't remember.
Not sure, but and they were also linked to potentially a Ben Simmons trade. So, what's your how would you rate their off season, and how competitive do you think they'll be in the West based on their current roster?
I think they're going to be very competitive, and the reason, obviously, last season they had a lot of young players with Steph and Draymond. This year they've gone out and said we'll add to our young core, but we're also going to add some veterans. And then LeBron winning players, well, the guys that will make winning plays for them. Otto Porter Jr. is a good 3-point shooter and a good defender. Same thing with Bielitsa is a good shooter. Iguodala, we all know what Iguodala means in the Bay. Klay Thompson's coming back. So, and look, Klay Thompson only needs to be about 70-80% to begin the season anyway. Like, shooting translates. Like, he'll be just fine.
You don't need to be 100% to shoot the ball.
100%. So yeah, I feel like the Warriors are setting themselves up for one to have assets that they can trade. Don't forget they had a good draft as well. So they've got assets that they can use in trades, and also they've got guys they've got a deep bench now, like they used to have. So I wouldn't be surprised with the way they run their system with Steph Curry as the leader of that franchise, along with Draymond and Steve Kerr still there. I wouldn't be surprised if we're looking at the Warriors like a 2-3 seed, maybe in a 1 seed next season. Like, I'm not saying they get into the finals, but in the regular season, they could be a fun watch.
Yeah, I had Steph already as my MVP. Like, if it asked me to give a prediction now for who's going to win MVP, I'd say Steph, because he could have arguably won it this year, and now he's got more help. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, he's gonna go back to putting up monster numbers. But on what you were saying about the young guys, it could go both ways. Do you know what I mean? How do you think they should approach it? Do you think that they should let their young guys develop? Because we know Wiseman was a number 2 or 3 pick.
3.
3 pick. Yeah, because it was Anthony Edwards, LaMelo, I think, and then Wiseman. Yeah.
Was it him? Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, was it?
I think it was Wiseman.
Yeah. Wiseman was 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wiseman was 2. So you got Wiseman. You drafted Kuminga with 7, I believe it was, or 8. Yeah. And then you drafted Moody with 14. Yeah. So you got, and they still have Jordan Poole. You got a lot of young talent there.
Wiggins
is still there. Do you think that they can do both things at the same time, compete for a championship and develop their young guys, or do they have to go all in while Steph's still in his prime?
If there's one team I trust to develop their young guys while they go for a championship, is the Warriors. Like their player development over there, and then what they have and those cool guys, it helps just bring them along. So now, if you look at the team, there isn't pressure on the young guys to come in and play elite level basketball straight away. They've got guys, veterans there who can help them, show them the ropes. Draymond Green is obviously there, and we know how good of a mentor he is. So I think they should keep them. You very rarely get to go from an all-timer in his prime, and it just easily translates to you have a good young core of players to go through where you can stay competitive. And the Warriors have that opportunity now where they could do it. Like I wouldn't trade Wiseman unless it's for like an elite level player. Like I'm not doing that because I think Wiseman could be
any names.
I don't have a name right now.
Would you do it for Dame?
But how would that work though? Dame, Steph, and Clay.
If you tell me, if you don't think it works, then you don't make the trade.
I mean, if you feel like it's gonna work, I'll do it for Dame. Yeah, but if you feel like
do you feel like it will work?
Oh, man, the shooting would be blasphemous. But I don't know. I'll have to sleep on that one. I want it to work though. I like the idea of it, but there's the other end of the court, the defensive side, which would be very interesting. So yeah, I mean, so it's very rare you get to translate from top tier Hall of Famers to a group of young guys going through. So if you can do it, you try it. But I feel like the way they set their team up right now, they have enough to compete as well as develop guys, which is very rare in the NBA.
Yeah, I agree, but I also think it's tough to do both, man. Like I feel like you're never gonna maximize either unless you choose. Do you know what I mean? Like, and really and truly, you can't. I don't think you can commit to developing the young guys when you have Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. Do you know what I mean? And you're wasting the rest of their prime by surrounding them with young players that you need to develop. Do you know what I mean? Because as much as they're deep in the regular season, in the playoffs, you need vets that you can rely on. Do you know what I mean? And how many guys do they have that they can rely on? As we said, Steph, Klay, Draymond, Iguodala, you can rely on. Who else? Wiggins, you can rely on to an extent.
Wiggins was good in the playing games. He was good for a lot of last season.
But that's what I'm saying. You don't have a lot of guys that you can rely on. I agree with you also in that you only make the deal if you're getting a special player. I do it for Dame, but I, as you said, the defense is there. You have to make sure that the defense is A1 before you make that trade, or maybe you get.
It could work, to be honest. Like
great players will make it work. Do you get what I mean? But I think Bradley Beal for me would be a better fit.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Because Bradley Beal can play on the ball, off the ball. You just slide Klay to the 3. So you got Steph, Klay, Bradley, Beal, and Klay. I feel like that could be very dynamic. Do you know what I mean? But it's a sticky situation, man, because we've heard the links to Ben Simmons, and we know Philly are asking for a crazy price. And I don't think Ben and Draymond together is ideal unless one of them is going to play the 5. Do you get what I mean? So it will be very interesting to see I see them trading some of their young guys during the season.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Because they're going to be a good team in the regular season regardless, but you got to have guys that you can rely on in the playoffs, man. That's the key.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I also look at it from this standpoint that when you're young in the NBA, you're trying to make a name for yourself. So you remember that Celtics team that everyone thought was so talented with like Kyrie, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Isaiah Hayward.
Yep.
Like at the time, Brown, Tatum, and Rozier especially were trying to make a name for themselves. Like, they were trying to get paid, show you that they're young stars. So sometimes they can almost. I'm not saying they were playing selfish basketball, but they want to showcase what they can do in the NBA. Like, you're trying to make a name for yourself, and when you have proven guys that who are basically in the pecking order and the hierarchy, it can kind of ruin the balance of power on the team. So I get that from that standpoint. So I think if you're looking at these young guys and you're going, they're trying to prove that they can play at an elite level in the NBA. Maybe playing on a championship team isn't for them right now. In a way, they kind of need to play selfish basketball to show what they can do.
I hear you. I wouldn't even say it's selfish.
It's not selfish. It's just
you need an opportunity. You
situations matter, innit? So
exactly.
You need an opportunity to show what you can do. Like
exactly,
the guy might want to go ISO 3-5 times in a half. Like, it's okay. Let him do that.
Do you get what I'm saying? Especially when the guy was the number 2 pick. Do you get what I mean? And he's like, even like in his rookie year, he struggled. Do you know what I mean? I don't think he really fit well with them, and I don't expect him to. But I'm just saying that it's going to be a lot to ask him to go from that to now being a big man that does a lot for them. Do you know what I mean? One of their pivotal players in a potential championship team. You're asking for a lot.
Yeah.
But they don't have to trade all their young guys. You know, you could trade a couple of them, just get a solid role player.
I would try and keep Wiseman, like, because I think you got to give him the first season. Like, it's tough to come into the first season in the NBA, especially he didn't really play in college.
Yeah.
So that difference was key. But I saw flashes in that first season that made me go, okay, if he can put it together, this guy could be a strong player in the NBA.
Yeah, one of the best bigs in the league.
Exactly. So yeah,
very skilled.
Exactly, and his ability to roll to the basket is something the Warriors haven't had in the way all that championship run. So I feel like he obviously has to put on some muscle. He's playing with grown men. It will come. Like, that's why, if you're doing these trades, you gotta be very hesitant not to just trade him just because you need some help. Like, it has to be for some elite top level. Yeah, like I need to be able to go to sleep at night and I traded away one of the best young talents in the NBA, but I got back one of the best players in the NBA.
You trade him for Cat?
No.
You wouldn't?
I don't think that pushes the Warriors to winning the championship.
Hey,
you think so?
Bro, Steph, Clay, Otto Porter, Draymond, and Cat. That is a mad line.
Cat?
Obviously, he's not great defensively, but he's one of the most. He's arguably the best shooting big man.
No, I agree. But do you think like the difference between Wiseman to Cat is what takes the Warriors to be in the Lakers to get to the championship?
It might not get them over the Lakers, but you're significantly better. And Cat is still young. Cat's like
I know. It's not anti-Cat, but I feel like I can get better than Cat if I'm trading Wiseman.
Yeah, I agree, but will you get a better fit than Cat? Because as we were saying, Dame's the better player. Do you get what I mean? But Cat fits a need. Do you get what I mean? He's not great defensively, but offensively he fits them really well.
Me personally, if I'm the Warriors this season, there's a few players I'm looking at. I'm saying, okay, Bradley Beal will assess your situation.
For sure.
Brandon Ingram, what's your situation in New Orleans like?
So you take Brandon Ingram ahead of Cat?
For the Warriors, yeah, 100%.
Man. But Brandon Ingram needs the ball in his hands, though.
That's kind of what the Warriors, I think, need. Like, you see the way they use Wiggins sometimes. I feel like Ingram is an upgrade on Wiggins in that position.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, if I get the way they use Wiggins, if I can use Brandon Ingram in that way, boy, I think the Warriors. That's when I go, okay, yeah. I feel like that's more of a. I don't know if this is blasphemous, but I feel like that's more of a contending team that with Cat.
That's fair. We'll see how well they play during the season, innit? And listen, expectations are high for the Pelicans, man. Yo, listen. The transitions are seamless. We'll just go straight into the Pelicans then, to be honest, and then we'll get into some winners and losers. But for me, they're a clear loser.
100%.
Yeah, you lose Lonzo Ball, who for me was a great fit next to Zion. When Zion talks about the core, he always mentions me, Bi, and Zoe. Yeah, I mean, Lonzo's a guy that fits next to both of them. He doesn't need the ball in his hands. He improved his 3-point shot significantly.
Amazing. Yeah,
exactly. He was shooting like 38% on what 8-9 attempts. Do you know what I mean? He's improved his free throw shooting. I believe he was 78% last year. I don't understand how you let a guy like that fits your young core so well, complements your star players so well. I don't see how you let him go. Him and Zion had great chemistry. The lobs that he would throw to Zion, you don't find that kind of player in the league often. Do you know what I mean? You don't find point guards that can play make the way Lonzo can, especially in the full court. Do you know what I mean? So they replaced him with Devontae Graham. They also brought in Sadaransky in the signing trade with Lonzo to the Bulls, which we'll get to. They traded Steven Adams for Valanciunas.
It's not bad.
Yeah, not bad. But you could argue again, does he fit alongside Zion? Do you know what I mean? He needs to score the ball. I think he needs touches.
Yeah, I guess he offers more of a 3-point shooting threat than Adams does. So, you know.
But are you getting the best out of him by putting him on the 3-point line? Because he's one of the best low post scorers in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, what's your thoughts on the Pelicans offseason, man? A lot of question marks.
I mean, for a team that reportedly had their star player say is not happy, apparently Brandon Ingram's not happy either.
Yep,
that's the best you can do. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like, you let go of Lonzo. I feel like if Kyle Lowry was coming in, I think I'd go, okay, fair enough. Devontae Graham is
Chris Paul.
Oh, Chris Paul, yeah. And apparently they tried to get Chris Paul, apparently.
Yep.
And Devontae Graham's a great player. Don't get me wrong. It's great. I love watching Devontae Graham play. I feel like he's a great scoring guard, but
that's all he is, scoring guard.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like it's gonna be the same old thing next year. This is the way their team is built. Like, they need something to happen because you fired Van Gundy, which I agreed with. I think that's the best move they did this offseason. And brought in Willie Green.
Yeah.
We'll see how that works out. It's good to see a black coach get a chance as well. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I think they're one of the losers in free agency. For a team that is for a team that's had Anthony Davis walk out on them, and now they have Zion Williamson. And now they have Zion Williamson. I figured you'll be doing everything in your power to make sure that we have a team that not only gets in the playoffs, but a team that can be as competitive as, say, the Mavs at least.
Bro, look at the Hawks. Look at what the Hawks did to surround Trae Young.
I just feel like they dropped the ball on this free agency. I think, I can forgive letting Lonzo go if you can upgrade the position, but I don't feel like they did that. I don't feel like their roster is better than it was last season, to be honest. So, yeah, I think big losers, big losers.
Yeah, man, it's just bad for them, man, because there's already talks that even before they got Zion and stuff, like, is that franchise going to even stay in that city? Do you know what I mean? Because we know the Saints are the number one attraction in New Orleans. Do you know what I mean? So obviously Zion brought a lot of eyes to the team, but you're not making any noise. You're not winning any games. Yeah, I mean, you're falling short of expectation, and Zion's definitely looking at that front office thinking, like, what are we really doing? Like, what are we actually doing? Like, how are you letting Lonzo go if we're not getting a better player?
But the bad decision started last summer, like bringing in Van Gundy when everyone with a basketball brain was telling you no.
Yep, signing Steven Adams to like 3 years 60.
Most people telling you no, that doesn't work. And I can respect the person who makes a bad decision and goes, I made a bad decision. Let me stop that. Let me fix the decision. That's fine. But that decision had consequences, and now you're paying for them in a way, because now you have two unhappy players, two star players who most teams would kill for your young core to be Zion and Ingram. That's two all-stars in the future. That's possibly an MVP and like maybe like
an all-NBA guy.
An all-NBA guy. So like, to say you're messing this up and the way they're doing it, it's not fun. Like, it's very rare you have two guys right now who, in a way, not saying they're ready to win, but they're ready to be competitive. and you haven't given them the roster that's been able to do that. And it's a shame because I thought there was going to be a change in New Orleans when Zion got drafted, but it's more the same.
Yeah, man, if they're not careful, Zion might not even sign that rookie extension, fam.
Well, can you imagine?
Bro, I would not be surprised if he does not sign that rookie extension, fam, because we've seen it. Like, normally these guys do the 7 years. Obviously, you got your rookie deal when you get drafted. You sign your max extension. Then you get to unrestricted free agency, and then you decide what's best for your career after 7 years. Bro, I would not be surprised if he does not sign that extension because he'll be thinking, are these guys just going to waste my time? Do you know what I mean? Like, I can collect, I'm going to make money in my career. Do you know what I mean? He's young. He's what, 2021? Like, he's going to make hundreds of millions. Exactly. Do you know what I mean? So he's going to be thinking, raw, let me get myself on a bigger stage, on a better team, with a team that really knows what they're doing. So they need to be careful, man.
As you're saying that, I'm just thinking to myself, what teams could trade for Zion next year? Like, I'm really just thinking that in my head.
No, I don't think they'll trade him. What? Because he can sign that 1 year qualifying offer. You know, after you finish your rookie deal,
being an unrestricted free agent after that.
Exactly. If he signs the 1 year qualifying offer and then he gets the unrestricted free agency, the Pelicans are finished. I genuinely think that's the end of that franchise if they lose him.
There's going to be 30 teams in the NBA that's looking for Zion Williams. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So, but it's rare, isn't it? It's rare that you see a guy just sign the qualifying offer and make a move like that. So we'll see how that pans out. But let's get to your biggest winner then. Let's get to your biggest winner in free agency. A lot of teams made some impressive moves. Yeah. What stood out to you? What team?
I think, I mean, obviously people talk about the Lakers and the Nets. I think for me, I'm just going with the Bulls. And the reason isn't purely basketball. It's purely because that team is in a huge market. That team has probably the greatest legacy in the NBA outside of the Lakers and the Celtics. And for the last few years, it's been, how can I say it nicely, terrible to watch. Like, it's been bad. So they finally feels, obviously with the Vucevic move earlier in the season, they finally feels that there's some sort of optimism around the franchise. Okay, things are looking up. And then bringing in Lonzo, good pickup. DeRozan, good pickup. Patrick Williams with the draft last year, that was a good draft. Caruso. So it finally feels like, even if they don't like get to the conference finals, or they're not they're not as competitive as we thought they could be, it's finally nice to see the Bulls actually look like they're trying to do something, instead of every year after free agency you're thinking, what the hell was that nonsense? Like, so yeah, I feel like from that standpoint, I feel like it's just nice to see the Bulls on top again, because the last time I felt this optimistic about that team was when D Wade and Rondo went there with Jimmy Butler.
Facts.
And then now
they had Powell.
And they had, and it was a nice team. If Rondo hadn't got hurt that series, I actually wonder what would happen.
Yeah, facts.
It was looking good for them. So yeah, I mean, it's nice to see. Like, obviously the Heat and the Bucks and the Nets and the Celtics will all be ahead of them, the Hawks. But it's nice to see the Bulls actually try and do something, and for us all to come out free agency and go, whew, the Bulls look nice. They look nice on paper. So yeah, I'm going with the Bulls.
Yeah, I like what they did as well, man. Give them credit. Finally trying to be competitive again, and just getting talent together. Some people saying DeMar got overpaid, but bro, I don't think so, man. Like, the guys,
how much did you get?
$385.
That's underpaid.
Yeah, fam. That's the market. Yeah, I mean, especially for a guy like DeMar DeRozan, fam. The guy's an all-star caliber player. Yeah, I mean, you pay him what he deserves. Yeah, I mean, and I like the way they're looking at the moment, man. But my biggest winner is the Miami Heat. You added Kyle Lowry, who fits them perfectly. Glue guy, does a bit of everything, plays good D, good shooter, leader. Literally, we hear Heat culture all the time. Kyle Lowry epitomizes Heat culture. You keep Duncan Robinson. One of the best shooters in the league. Shout out to him as well, man. Man was in the G League 3 years ago, and now we signed for 5 years, 90. Yeah, I mean, so Yeah. Shout out to him. Yeah, shout out to his podcast as well, man. He's got a fire podcast.
I didn't know he had a podcast, you know. I saw the video the other day and I said, oh, okay.
Yeah, fam. Yeah, he's an interesting guy, man, and he's a great shooter as well. So kudos to them for keeping him. You bring back Victor Oladipo on a minimum.
That's a good deal.
That is a good deal.
If he can stay healthy.
Exactly. Even if he can't stay healthy, it's no risk. Yeah, I mean, what is it costing you a roster spot? Because he's literally on a minimum deal. Do you know what I mean? So for me, that's a great get back. Anything that he gives you is cheese on top, and he's another guy that fits what they got going on over there. You bring back Jimmy. Woj just announced that literally about half an hour ago. Jimmy signed for 4 years, 184, I believe. You lock him up. Your franchise player gonna keep him for a really long time.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I love what they've done, man. I think they brought in guys that fit them. They're always trying to be competitive, always trying to win, and yeah, I think they've gone about it really well. They also brought in Markieff Morris, PJ Tucker. You stole PJ Tucker from the Bucks. That's a cheeky pickup, still cheeky pickup. Another guy that fits perfectly. Imagine that starting lineup. You got Lowry, Duncan Robertson, Jimmy, PJ, and Bam.
That's a lineup full of dogs,
bro.
I just pure dogs, man. Like, and then you bring off the bench like Markieff Morris and who else? I can't remember.
Oladipo, Tyler Hero.
Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like they line up against you. First of all, you know it's gonna be a hard night to score.
Definitely,
it's gonna be a hard night to score because they can switch anyone onto you and say Yuki's guarding you tonight. That's an impressive thing to have. So no, I 100% agree with you. The Heat, like, they just said, all right, okay, we've seen the blueprint. We're going to play some tough defense, and we're going to make this a game a dogfight every single night. And we have guys who want to make it a dogfight every single night. So, I mean, come the playoff time, I think the key for them is
don't buck them in the playoffs.
No, 100%. You don't want to, but I think the key for them is who's their scorer. Like I say this about, that's why I like the Oladipo pickup. I even liked it last season when they did it in the first instance. They need a selfish scorer because Jimmy Butler is clearly not going to be that guy. He doesn't want to be the guy that takes 20-something shots consistently, even though he has the ability to do it. They need Oladipo, who is the ISO guy, the give me the ball right now, let me take over, let me make these shots. So yeah, so I think he could be key for them in the playoffs, especially if he can stay healthy. I'm looking forward to seeing Tyler Hero and whether he takes the step forward, because
for
if
me,
he can,
he's the swing piece for me.
Yeah, because if he can, that's another
bro. If Tyler Hero goes back to bubble Tyler Hero, for me, this team is in the mix with the Nets, the Bucks, and the Sixers.
Yeah,
because
for Sixers does though.
Yes, you still got Joel Embiid. I mean, Sixers still gonna be there.
I mean,
and depending on what they do with Ben, we'll see. But
you see, they said Ben hasn't spoken to anyone on the Sixers.
Yes, we'll get to that. We'll definitely get to that. Because that is an interesting storyline, boy. But yeah, I was saying about the Heat. Lowry's giving you 18 to 20 a night. Yeah, I mean, and good defense, playmaking. He's giving Jimmy the same. He's giving you 20 a night. Yeah, I mean, good defense. Duncan Robinson's giving you solid shooting. Bam Adebayo is one of the most versatile bigs. I genuinely think, matchup wise, they're gonna be able to have success against a lot of teams because they, as I always say, you need to be able to win in a number of ways.
Yeah,
and they can arguably, win every matchup on a lot of nights. Yeah, I mean, obviously not PJ Tucker. He's not gonna drop 20 or something, but he can lock someone up. Exactly. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, we'll see, man. I like what they've done. I think they're gonna have a bounce back season and really make some noise in the playoffs. I think second round in the East is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, no, I think
the Hawks are there as well, as you mentioned.
My team, my favorite team. Do you know what the thing is? I think with them last season, I that's why I wasn't shocked by them and the Lakers exiting in the first round. It almost felt like bubble fatigue. It felt like the two teams that played the longest came back, had the shortest turnaround, and they just never got into the season. They were always there was always something with the Heat. I think now you had the offseason, you refreshed the team in a way, made some trades. Dragic is no longer there. Yeah, not because he's a bad player or anything like that. It's just you needed a change.
Traded him for Lowry, innit?
Yeah, exactly. So Kyle Lowry comes in, he brings, I think more than anything, he brings a competitive edge. He's been in a team that hasn't made the playoffs, recently. He's also been in a team that's just got knocked out the year before, I think in the first round or second round. So yeah, now Kyle Lowry's ready to championship experience as well. So he's ready to win again. So yeah, the Heat, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, as a Nets fan and as a Hawks fan as well, because I got two teams. But I was watching that and I was going, yeah, that I don't want to see them. Like, you don't want to see them.
If you got guards that want to score the ball, they do not want to see Jimmy, Lowry, Oladipo, PJ Tucker. You do not want to see those guys, bro.
You say that because we actually forget that Oladipo was like a top tier
first
defender.
Team, Oladipo's first team all defense.
So
bro,
it's and the thing we're forgetting about all of this, the coach. They might have the best coach in the NBA.
Yep.
So, boy, the Heat, they had a hell of an offseason, and I actually don't think they're done. I think they want to add more.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they did. But Bam got to step up, though. He was getting picked on in the Olympics, so I'm sure he's going to take that personally and bulk up and improve his game going into the season. Yeah. But you mentioned the Nets. We can touch on the Nets. They made a couple good additions, couple key losses as well.
Yeah.
You lose Jeff Green. Obviously, he goes to Denver. You trade Shamet to Phoenix for Javon Carter, gritty defender. But then you add Patty Mills, who's a big addition, and you also bring back Blake.
Blake.
Yeah, exactly. So, what's your thoughts on you guys? James Johnson as well, yeah.
Bembry. Missing a big. It's missing a big. We're missing rebound.
You don't like DJ, no? And Claxton.
I like Claxton. If he like bulks up and he steps up this year, then I think we'll be fine. But I would have liked someone like a Andrew Drummond or I saw some teams get bigs, and I was thinking we could have got that guy. So yeah, it's a little bit disappointing. I would have liked PJ Tucker as well. I thought that would happen. I'd have liked Harold to have been bought out by the Wizards. That's where he is now.
Yeah, Wizards, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, but so far I think the pickup of Patty Mills is excellent and stuff. Like, it's excellent. So because last year when Kyrie and James Harden went down, the guard play kind of wasn't very good.
Yeah.
So now you add depth. Exactly. Mike James was good in spurts, but he also got found out at times.
Yeah.
You bring in Javon Carter as well, good defender, as you said, and Patty Mills, championship experience. And we just saw what he did in the Olympics.
Patty Mills just dropped 42 points.
Exactly. Hey, so look,
win the bronze.
So look, hey, I like the offseason so far. I would have liked them to have got a big. Yeah. But if they're saying that Claxton is going to be the guy and they're relying on some rookies, then fair enough. But yeah, I mean, it's a weird one. It's a weird one because I feel like we're missing one piece, but I do like what we've done so far.
Yeah, you can still make moves during the season.
Yeah, well, so, exactly. So
yeah, I'm sure you will address it. I'm sure. I like your off season as well, man. But when you're starting with Kevin Durant, Kyrie, James Harden, there's not a lot of work to do, man. Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot of work to do at all.
I'm also interested in the rest of the off season from this standpoint. The fact that we have KD just signed for about 4 years, 198 million. Is James Harden or Kyrie signing, or which one of them is signing? That's the question I have.
Because if they sign them both, that payroll is gonna be.
Look, but we have one of the richest owners in the NBA. Like, he's happy. Like, what they said? They said we live in the luxury tax now. That's fair enough. Let's go spend this money. So, I mean, we all know Kyrie's KD's best friend. James Harden and KD are good friends too. I don't know the relationship between Kyrie and Harden, but I guess everyone, their teammates, and they seem close. So I wonder how long they want to do this for. I remember before Harden got traded, there was talk about the fact that because there's 2 years left in his contract before he got traded, he wanted 2 years at a championship contending team, and then he hits a free agency and then he gets to make his choice. So yeah, it's interesting to see. I wonder what happens, but yeah, I mean, KD's committed his future to Brooklyn. So I mean, it's interesting stuff. But I mean,
I can't lie. I'd be surprised though if all three of them get signed up to max deals. Like it's different trading for them. Do you know what I mean? Because you're giving up some money. But if you sign them both to max deals in free agency, yo, that's gonna be the most expensive team in league history, no doubt.
I mean, you have KD who's making next to 50 million each season now.
And that's bro, and that's the going rate right now. Jimmy just signed for like 45. Steph just signed for like 50. Bro, if you sign Kyrie and James, they need 50 a year each.
You're telling me you're committing 150 million to 3 players?
Yeah. Bro.
Whoa, okay, that's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, you might be right. One of them has to go.
But you never know. As you said, their owner's crazy rich.
So he might say, no, pay them. I mean, the Warriors were trying to do the same thing with Steph, KD, Clay, and Draymond. Like they would have committed that kind of money to those 4 if that happened. But yeah, I would switch gears now to the other team in the West, the Lakers. Your Lakers. What have you made of the offseason so far? Everyone's coming onto your roster saying it's old, but I like the move so far. What do you think of it?
I like the moves, bro. I like the moves. For me, the whole age thing is just people are just gonna find any way to poke holes at a LeBron team. You know, create doubt. You know, it's just a talking point that people latch onto because it's easy to discuss.
Yeah.
But really and truly, you're relying on the big 3. Do you know what I mean? LeBron, Russ, AD. AD is in his. For me, AD is gonna carry the load, and he's in his prime. He's 28. He needs to. For me, he is the key piece. He needs to have a bounce back season. There's no more excuses.
Yeah.
Whatever. If you need to play all your minutes at the 5, do it. If you have to win Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, do it. You got Russ, who led the league in assists the past season. LeBron led the league in assists the year before. So you're going to get easy buckets, guaranteed. Do you get what I mean? So yeah, I need a lot from AD. But as far as the additions go, I like the Ellington addition. I've wanted him on a LeBron team for a while. 42% he shot from 3 last year. Sniper. I like his addition. Melo. I like the Melo addition. I feel like he's a more consistent Kuzma. Do you know what I mean? Because the truth is, Kuzma is like, obviously he can score in a lot of different ways, but we didn't need that. Do you get what I mean? We need someone that can hit open shots and defend. Do you know what I mean? Melo ain't really gonna defend, but he shot 40% from 3 last year. And we know he's a big shot maker.
Don't sleep on Melo's defense. Like when Melo needs to play defense, he'll play
defense. Exactly. Because I remember him guarding LeBron like in the playoffs and
that.
Exactly. So, and fam, he's a vet. Do you know what I mean? So it's not like he's gonna like give up. Do you know what I mean? So he'll always compete. I like bringing back Dwight. For me, that was a big addition. Well. Yeah. For me, that was a big addition. And the thing is, everyone is critical of Dwight's personality. I like his personality, bro.
He's a weirdo, but it's cool.
Yeah, fam. He's a weirdo, but fam, he's unequivocally himself.
Facts.
Do you know what I mean? He ain't trying to be something that he's not. That Shaq impersonation was hilarious as well. I don't know if you've seen the video.
I've seen it.
Hilarious. But yeah, man. Won the championship with us a couple years ago. And yeah, man, he helps AD, does the dirty work, good rebounder, physical presence, and the identity of the team is being bigger, faster, and stronger, and he fits that perfectly. I like bringing in Ariza.
I like that one as well.
Yeah, 3-and-D wing, vet. For me, the sleeper addition that is going to be key is Kendrick Nunn. Yeah. I love that addition because he can play on the ball, off the ball. Young guy. Exactly. He's a back, and I think he's an overqualified backup point guard because he was starting for the Miami Heat like for the past couple seasons, playing a big role. I think he averaged like 15 a game.
Yeah, he took less to play with the Lakers.
Exactly. So I like that addition, and then bringing back THT as well. I think he'll have a bigger role this year. But yeah, I like the roster, man. I think it's going to be growing pains during the season, but as long as everyone's healthy, we're able to build chemistry, we will be in the finals. See you there. See you in the finals.
Yeah, 100%. I need that. I need a LeBron KD before it's all said and done. I need the last one. No, but I like the moves as well. I'm not gonna lie to you. The Dwight Howard one, is the one that I think I like the most for some reason, because his impact when he was with you guys in that championship season was immense. It was immense. And when you felt like last year was an upgrade to bring in Marcus Gasol and all that stuff, but there's something to say about the energy that Dwight is, and there's something to say about the energy that Dwight brought to that team that you missed last season. Like there was something about, even when Drummond came, it was like, nah, Dwight was the one you should have brought in. So I like the pickup. I like the roster moves. I think the one thing you'll see this season is the load doesn't have to be carried by LeBron and AD. You know, Russ can contribute. You know, Melo can go off for 20-point nights. We've seen Kendrick Nunn go for 20-point nights. So the load will be shared around. And I think you can almost allow LeBron to coast. Like, it's felt like for the last 2 seasons, he hasn't been given that opportunity to coast. In that championship season, he was a point guard. He had the ball in his hand all the time. Last season, AD went down. He's having to play big minutes. You know, so I feel like this season now, he can play off ball. He can play more in the post, which I think will actually help him. So, I mean, I like the roster moves, and I look at it this way. I say, all right, you don't like the roster moves, fine. For the Lakers, who's stopping them anyway in the West if they're healthy?
Exactly.
No one. So, I mean, the Clippers would be nice too, but I mean,
why ain't about though?
Why ain't about? But so I mean, I like the moves. Frank Vogel's got a new contract, very well earned. So I mean, look, if everyone stays healthy, which I hope it happens, touch wood, I think we could see the Lakers in the finals again.
For sure. Couple other teams that we'll touch on before I get to the closing question. The Knicks. I like what the Knicks did. I like what the Knicks did a lot. You get Kemba for a very cheap deal. I think he's on like 8 a year.
Swear,
bro. Yeah, Kemba's making chicken change, because everyone's like doubting him because of his knee. Yeah, you know, his knee's mash up, so his reputation took a big hit. Like, he was on the max deal with the Celtics.
Can you imagine Kemba back in New York,
bro? And you just brought in Fournier as well.
You see what Fournier did in the Olympics? Like, people forget. This is my thing with guys when they start saying that, oh, NBA players, this guy's a bum, he can't do that. These guys are playing a role. They're playing a role for their team. That doesn't mean they can't hit you for 25 a night if given the opportunity. Like, it's situations in the NBA. Fournier is a baller. So, look, boy.
He reminds me, he's like a Gordon Hayward type of guy. He does a bit of everything. Do you know what I mean? So, you also brought back Julius Randle. Do you know what I mean? So, RJ's developing. Mitchell Robinson's developing.
D-Rose is back.
D-Rose back. Do you know what I mean? So, I like what the Knicks did, man. I think they'll continue to take steps forward. Thibodeau's going to have them playing good D. So, you brought in offensive players. It's similar to the Lakers. Everyone's saying, oh, you compromised the defense by losing Caruso and guys like that, and KCP. But Frank Vogel's one of the best defensive coaches in the league. Same as Tibbs. LeBron and AD went down and they were still a top 5 defense.
I don't know how that happened.
So, because he's a great coach.
Great coach.
Do you know what I mean? So you trust that he can still make them a good defensive team, and you bring in offensive players. You make sure you can score the ball. But let's touch on a couple young guys that signed big deals. I want to know which young guy you think will outplay his contract the most. So we mentioned a couple. Trey signed a big deal. Shea signed a big deal. Luka is about to sign a big deal. Who else can I think of?
I think Aiton's got a new deal, isn't he?
Aiton's about to sign a new deal, yes. So, but which one of those, and if anyone that you got on your mind, which one of them you think will outplay their contract the most?
First of all of them. I think all of them are gonna have all-star careers, but I think I'm gonna go with. I mean, obviously, Doncic. Like, Doncic is gonna be the one. He's gonna be the one. But I'll talk about Trae Young for a second. I think Trae Young he's gonna lead Atlanta to where they need to go. I'm such a big fan now. Like, I can't tell you how much of a fan I am with this guy. Like, he is in a perfect place, and they love him there. And if anything, he's underpaid. So, I look at Trae Young, and I think he is the face of that franchise. He's the leader of that culture with Nick McMillan. I think he's only going to improve, go from strength to strength. I don't think he's ever going to miss an All-Star game anymore after his performances in the playoffs.
Yeah,
so
true.
For I don't even think he's bulked up yet. He almost feels like he's still very skinny. I feel like it's still ways he can go where he can get bigger. And if he gets bigger, I think he could be really special. So I think all of those guys are going to be amazing. I think Shea for OKC. I kept seeing that they were trying to trade him at one point, and then he gets a big deal. It's a bit.
They try to trade him and the sixth pick for Kate Cunningham,
which is, I mean, Kate Cunningham. I can understand why. I can understand why. I don't like it. I can understand why you do it, but then for them to do that and then go, well, here's 170 million.
They didn't have a choice. They did not have a choice.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So, yeah, I think all these guys are gonna play amazing. They're gonna get big deals and they're gonna get the second big deal. But I like Trae Young at the Hawks. I think the Hawks are in for something special with him there.
Yeah, 100%, man. 100% agree. I think all of them will like justify the contract, outplay the contract. But a team that's disappointing me this offseason is the Mavs, though, man.
Yeah,
I think they haven't done. Look at what the Hawks are doing surrounding Trae. Like they're surrounding him with some quality pieces. Yeah, I mean, Luka can make a lot of bad players look good, but surrounding with some good players and you can build a great team. Do you know what I mean? We know about the bad relationship he has with Porzingis. You still got him on the books. You weren't able to trade him. Obviously, you know, maybe you couldn't get something as valuable as you want because he had a horrible playoffs and he's obviously so injury prone. Yeah. But I still feel like you've got to improve the roster in other ways. They re-signed Tim Hardaway Jr.
I like that one.
Yeah, I like that. But you paid him a lot of money, though. I think it's like 4 years, 80 or so.
Look, he always gets big deals. Like he always gets big deals. So he's clearly doing something right.
Yeah, you bring in Reggie Bullock from the Knicks, who I like, but it's just like I wanted Luka to get a secondary ball handler.
Look, I know people like to clown this guy, but I still can't believe Dennis Schroeder's unsigned. I think Dennis Schroeder with the Mavs, I think would be good.
Like Schroeder's getting clowned, by the way.
And people think it's. I don't like it. I don't like it because he's actually a baller. He's actually a baller,
bro. And people are mocking him, saying that he left 60 mil on the table.
I think he's gonna get an opportunity. I would like to see him.
He's linked to the Celtics. He's linked to the Celtics.
That's a good place too. Look, I like, I got too many teams. You know, I like the Celtics too. Jason Tatum, the coach, and Jaylen Brown. I think if you add Schroeder to that, that's a nice piece as well. And he's good defensively. That already adds to the backcourt of him, Smart, Jaylen Brown, and you obviously got Jason Tatum. Yeah, and then I think they brought back Kanter. They got some pieces there to be competitive. So I like Schroeder there. But yeah, I think Schroeder to the Mavs, just give Luka a secondary ball handler, someone else who could give you 15, 17 a game. That's all you really need. Yeah. It still feels like because he's so great and because he can do all these things, it's like, well, let's let him do it. Nah, like take the load off him a bit. You know, so I would like to see someone like Schroeder. I'm not saying Schroeder has to be the exact player, but someone like him.
You know who I think they should have took a gamble on? Victor Oladipo. Not paying him the max or something crazy, but give him a young 2 years, 10 mil. What? He's on a minimum right now.
That's
bro. The guy was once all NBA defense, and he can handle the ball, create his own shot. I feel like he would be a good piece alongside Luka. Obviously, he's been injury prone, but it's low risk. It's low risk if you're not paying him.
I 100% agree with you. That's a good one. I think another team you got to look at, the Portland Trailblazers.
Oh man,
it's just
yuck.
That just felt. I cussed the Pelicans earlier, but this one was just as bad. Just as bad. Just as bad.
Norman Powell bringing back Norman Powell is their best and only move, basically.
Tony Snell,
5 years, 9.
Cody Zeller, that's it. That's all you could do.
Bro, that team is a mess, man. I can't lie. I see Dame leaving during the season.
You can tell he's beginning to get more outspoken, and he's beginning to get more frustrated.
And he just went Team USA, so he's looking around thinking these guys are calling up their elite teammates. Do you know what I mean? Talking about, we're gonna win it. We just want a gold medal. We're gonna win a ring. He's thinking wrong.
What does Zach Levine say? The guys are recruiting each other. He said everyone's recruiting each other.
True.
So I can imagine someone like a Jeremy Grant is in Dame's ear, like, we got Cade now, got me, we got these young players. Okay. Someone like that, someone that you wouldn't even think about is just in Dame's ear, and you're like, wait, what? And so, I mean, it just feels like I feel like Dame is obviously such a loyal person. He doesn't want to leave.
Yeah.
But I think there's only so much someone can take where it doesn't feel like you're matching my ambition. Like, if that's the best you can do, then it just doesn't feel like we're on the same page here, which is unfortunate.
I don't know if you saw the Barkley quotes as well. He was talking about how LeBron didn't stick it out in Cleveland.
Barkley didn't Barkley was he was on super teams that didn't win? Like, people forget.
He only got drafted to his team won the championship 2 years before he got drafted. Had Dr. J Moses Malone. A man hating.
You see, the thing is, people, the one thing they'll do, they love to discredit people's work. And you cannot look at LeBron James and say that he took the easy way out. That man earned every single championship he had, whether you like the fact that he left the Cavs or not.
Facts. Like, let's be honest, bro. You can't say because you got drafted there, you have to stick it out. Like, they're incompetent.
Like,
they have shown. Go on, what you say?
I'm saying, where's the rule book that says I have to stick it out with an incompetent organization? No way.
And even the guys that they've been in good situations. Tim Duncan had Pop. Kobe got drafted to a team with Shaq. Michael Jordan, couple years into the league, you get Scottie Pippen, you get Phil Jackson. Like, fam, if you're in a bad situation, like, the reason why I brought it up is because Dame's in that same situation.
Yeah.
Like, you can't ask Dame to stick it out, fam. Like, he deserves to compete for a championship, and he's not going to be able to do it in Portland.
People talk about Giannis like sticking it out with Milwaukee. I'm like, you didn't really have to stick it out. They had competitive teams each year. They were in the playoffs.
You had an all-star and you added a third all-star.
Exactly. So obviously him staying and he was amazing for the franchise, but people say, oh, he stuck it out. Like, nah, he really didn't. Like,
they were team around him.
They were built for him, and eventually they go over the hump. So it's very different to what LeBron had to. If you can compare it to KD and say, well, KD had Russ with him, and he was in the finals with that team. But look, you can't discredit
even KD is probably frustrated that they let Harden go.
What? Like, you for an extra like $4 million apparently? Like,
yes,
not even
like,
so. Look, people can try and discredit these guys' work. First of all, you don't know how hard it is to win a championship. None of us do.
And neither does Chuck.
Thanks. So you can't keep discrediting these guys. You can say you like someone's championship run more than the other. I guess that's fine. But to say, well, you didn't go through the hardware. Well, how do you know? Like, you don't know what this guy went through this season. So, I mean, like, people need to stop doing that. LeBron James is there's nothing you can say about LeBron James, man. That guy is set in stone. Like, that legacy is forever. So you can say what you want. That legacy is stamped. Like,
bro. And LeBron he hears the nonsense as well. We've seen the tweet. Yeah, we've seen the tweet. LeBron's out for blood this season. I can't lie. And he's got some dogs with him as well.
Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I got look at this team. First of all, I got to shout out one person, Chris Paul.
Yep.
Chris Paul is set for life, even before this contract. I said the other day, on the football transfer talk, I said I want to be welcome Man City. I want to be a fly on their wall for their training sessions.
Yeah.
If Chris Paul needs an assistant, God no, someone, PA, anything, driver, boy, I'll do it. I'll do it.
Hey, Chris Paul's sitting on some big money right now, boy. That long money. Man's going to be potentially going to be making 40 when he's 40.
You know what I love about the NBA as well that I don't like about the NFL?
Yeah.
He's set to see that. Like, he will see it no matter what happens.
No. It's a team option.
Is it?
It's a team option. But
it's still
Chris Paul. It's Chris Paul. Do you know what I mean? At the end, he's the president of the Players Association. He sits on the table with the owners. Do you know what I mean? In terms of like conversations and stuff. So yeah. Even if he doesn't get the 40 in the year 40 or when he turns 40, he's gonna be 39 making 40. Do you know what I mean? So more time guys are in retirement
for what he did for the Suns franchise last season. Deserves it
for sure. And then they're gonna pay Ayton as well. So that's another team we can't sleep on, man. They had a good offseason. Re-signed Cameron Payne. you traded for Sherman, and you brought in Alfred Payton as well.
And JaVale McGee as well. I like that pickup.
JaVale McGee as well. Exactly.
When Aiden was out, when Aiden was out, it was tough. Yeah.
And Chris Paul's going to be throwing them lobs to JaVale as well.
I can't wait.
For real. It's going to be a great season, man. One of the best we've seen in a
100%.
while. But we'll leave it there, man. Obviously, just a little bit of free agency reaction, a lot of good moves, quality moves, teams assembling their rosters, and it's looking like it's going to be a great season, man. It's going to be a great season for sure. Yeah. Can't wait.
Summer isn't even over. Summer's not even over. Like, so much could still happen now. Like,
and there's still so many free agents.
Ben Simmons, where's gonna happen with him? What's gonna happen with Schroeder? What's gonna happen with Dame? Yeah, so like, still so much that could happen. So yeah,
for sure. This is just a tip of the iceberg for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Obviously, going to be getting stuck into a lot more. We're probably going to dive into some team specific stuff more so during the off season. And yeah, man, definitely looking forward to it. NFL season's approaching as well, so expect more content from us as far as first down goes. Premier League season is a week away, so expect us.
We've got some live shows this week, don't we?
Next week. For sure. Yeah, we're gonna be trying out some live shows. Can't wait, man. Can't wait. There's a lot to get into. We got a lot to give you guys. So like, comment, subscribe, keep showing love. Appreciate all the love, and appreciate you for coming on today, man. It was a good show.
No worries, man. No worries.
It's been us from Eyes on the Ball, and we out.